This one's about patience, consequences if you don't have it. This is a real thing for me. Just happened yesterday. Bark Rock Soil. He's a new sub here, and he said, "Hey, Darin, I met you," and I think it was in the 90s, and he said, "I met you in Alaska at a bar, and I was there to climb some mountains, and you were a river guide." And he was like, "Oh, God, I remember this guy." And he was a friend of a friend, my climbing partner, Tim Haugan, and they were there going to climb together, and that was years ago. Anyway, just brought back some memories. It also brought back a story that's about patience and something that happened to me in the big mountains in Alaska with this guy, Tim, not the sub, not the guy who said, "Hey, Darin," but his friend who he was climbing with. So I have a new sub here that I haven't seen since Bellingham, Washington, and Alaska. I got to meet him twice, and he's a mountaineer from up in the Northwest, BARKROCKSOIL, and he does landscaping up there. Anyway, so this story, and while I'm telling you, I'm trying to recharge this new unit that I got sent. But anyway, I went on this trip with this guy, Tim. We got flown into the mountains, got flown into a glacier near Denali, Mount McKinley, biggest mountain in North America. And I had already climbed up there, and so had Tim, but we were going to go do something different and something that no one else had ever done before. So we were flown in. Now, I want you to remember in this story, there were no cell phones. You had line-of-sight radios, and our radio sucked. It's one I got a long time ago, and it was all messed up. But it did work sometimes. You just had to have it all, the batteries in right and everything, but it was sketchy. And that's all you had. And so you had to wait till the plane was flying over to say, "Yeah, we're doing okay," because they would come and check on us every so often if the weather was good. And the weather sucked about 90% of the time. We're talking Alaska, the Alaska range, and it's just rough weather most of the time. So we're way up there. We've been climbing. We didn't get our objective completed. And, we're like, okay, we're running out of food. We're running out of all the necessities. We got to get out of here. And so at this point, we had a pickup date, but it wasn't for another week. No problem. The guy comes and checks on us every so often, every couple days. And then he'll do a flyover if he's bringing in other climbers to Denali. And we're on a different glacier, real remote, nobody there. And to walk out of there would take about a week. Anyway, so we're stamping in the snow with our, spelling out with our snowshoes. And we spelled out, "Pickup, please," no big deal. It'll stay there unless it snows, and we got to stamp it out again. And we were waiting and waiting. And like I'm waiting now for this to charge my new power bank. And it's like no planes flying in. The weather is bad. Now, it's coming up on kind of a holiday weekend, too. Big party down in town called Talkeetna, and that's the little town about an hour flight away by a small Cessna, and they got to fly in and pick us up, and then it's a big trip for them. It's about a 3-hour round trip deal, and the weather has to be good. Now it's not good, and so we're stuck for a few days. I'm used to that, and so is my climbing partner. We've been stuck before, and we'd already been on Denali climbing and been stuck on the big mountains. So we're like, okay, we'll just start rationing our food and coffee and stuff. And we had fuel, and we started rationing our fuel. And that's how you drink water, is you have to melt snow. So without getting into how expeditions operate or alpine mountaineering, we're running low. Things are getting kind of scary, and it looks like the weather is going to be... Now, we had an AM/FM radio like this right here. So we could get line-of-sight radio sometimes, if it was just perfect, down to Anchorage and Talkeetna, and they say, "Oh, big storm coming in." And we are out of stuff. We're a week overdue. Now, again, like I said, we weren't supposed to be picked up for a week, but we were blowing through our rations early. And so it's getting tough. So we decide, should we look at the map and maybe walk out of here? We're like, no, that's not a good... You don't walk out of these glaciers. To walk down the glacier would be treacherous. It'd be worse down at the bottom where there's lots of crevasses, and it's just more jumbled where it's ending, the terminus of the glacier, and it's rivers, and then it's bear country and tundra and trees for miles and miles. It'd be a week to walk, and that's if you're lucky you didn't get eaten by a bear, fall in a crevasse, and all the other stuff that could happen along the way. But we're weighing it out. We're really weighing it out at this point. We're thinking, well, maybe we should go, because he's not going to get in here for a week, and we're going to be getting, it's going to be bad. If we could get out to the highway, which would take us about 4 or 5 days, we figured, then we could hitchhike a ride, and get down and be out safe. So waited another day. It got ugly. We were running, starting to feel kind of weird, because we're not eating a lot. Feeling kind of weak. We packed it up, started walking down the glacier, and it took us about a day to get down to the end of the glacier, where it was starting to get really scary. Now we've committed to a situation where we can't get picked up. There's no place to land for the ski plane to land, So it's rocks and it's trees and shrubs, and so we're committed now, and we're hurting. We're out of food. We have water, streams and things, and we're walking another day, and that plane flies. It's clearing up. Plane flies right over us, and we're like, shit. We should have stayed. At this point, we were bummed that we just didn't have the patience. If we would have waited another day and a half, and we could have survived, we would have got picked up. Now we got to walk, and we can't get, that guy's not going to be able to help us. It's a national park. He's not allowed to drop us food. Now, if we were saying we were dying, now we told him, we're going to make it to the road. We got a little tiny bit of this and that, and then he flew off. He had work to do. So he figured we were over the hard part. Well, we weren't. It was another 2 days of epic walking through bear country, crossing rivers, and I'm telling this story because I had a sub come on here, and she said, "Oh, you're not a mountain guy or climber or something," and it was perfect timing. And then Rock Soil guy comes on and says, "Hey, I met you. So yeah, all my stories are real. I was a full-time mountaineer, mountain guide, and now I'm sitting here like this. So if you ever want to be a mountain guide, make sure you have some backup plan, or you'll end up living on a bike like me. Maybe not. I'm not doing too bad. Life is good for me, and I'm here. Look at me. I'm not starving, and I work. I work on a computer. I can go anywhere I want to work a little bit in the morning, and that's it. It's meager. It's lean means, but I'd rather be doing this than be stuck in a lot of places. And no more Alaska for me in the winter. I did that. 30 years, gold construction. I'm done with that. So hey, we're going to end it with a couple of quick important things. I got this solar charger, and I also got this power bank. Now, if you guys are nomads like me or living off grid, you probably know all this stuff already, or have all this stuff. But this is the Discovery 100 watt. Now, I have power banks. I have my little ones in here from, I bicycle. I can't take this big heavy thing on a bike. But for base camps and places I'm going to get dropped off and be for a little while, I'm thinking this might work. I'm going to try it. I can't give it a rating yet. It's 110 also, and it's got the USB ports. It's got 2 of those. Yeah, let's give it a try. AC outlet. I mean, this is let's try it out. If anybody has one of these or has tried one, let me know what you think about it. I'm going to give it a shot. The only thing that I'm worried about, well, I'm not worried, I just know, it'd take forever for this thing to charge it, this solar panel. But if I'm in the middle of nowhere and that's all I got, I would do it. It charges my other power banks. By the way, never charge your cell phone or your pad or anything with your solar panel. Charge your power bank. I learned that the hard way. Hey, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate you dropping by and listening to that story. That's an important one in my life. Another lesson about patience. I should have waited, but also it was survival mode. The balance of, do I go, do I stay? There's never a full solution to that, foolproof solution, but that's how I dealt with it. Was, all right, I just got to get through it. Ration the food. Ration what you have when you start to see it coming, and keep yourself healthy and mentally aware and happy. Try to stay happy through it all. Thank you.